In the last video that I posted, I showed you guys what I ate on my first day of vacation across the country. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you what I ate on day 2 of my trip. I also wanted to provide you with some value, so I'm going to talk to you about the 3 things that people usually do right before vacation in order to lose weight, which actually are 3 huge mistakes, and I'm going to tell you what you should do instead before your vacation. I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room right now. No, my artwork is not for sale. Maybe if this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll consider it. And yes, I know there's a glare. Hello my honeys, my name is Emmy. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program, where you work with me as well as a nutrition coach and a mindset coach to lose weight on a plant-based diet. If you're interested in working with me and my team, go to healthyhunnies.org or just click the link in the down bar. The first huge mistake that people make before a vacation in order to lose weight quickly before the vacation is they restrict their food intake. The reason why this is a huge mistake, and I understand why people do it, they say, oh, I gotta be in a bathing suit, I'm gonna wear shorts, I'm gonna be wearing tighter clothing, more skin is gonna be showing, so if I eat less food, then I'll be skinnier by the time I go on vacation and I'll feel better. But we're not playing the tape all the way through here, because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, which means if you restrict your food intake before you go on the vacation, right when that vacation hits or right when you get home, you're setting yourself up for a binge. If you're not familiar with the binge restrict cycle, it goes a little bit like this. First, you restrict for vacation, for an event, for whatever reason. Then you get super hungry, because if you are not properly fueling your body, that is what food is here to do, to fuel your body. Your body's going to talk back to you and it's going to say, we need more food. You deny yourself from more food and then your body just takes over. We cannot outrun our need for food. We can't outsmart our hunger drive. If our body needs food, it's going to communicate that with us one way or another, and usually it strikes back with a binge. So then you end up binging and then you feel really guilty for the whole thing. So then you restrict again. And this is what the binge restrict cycle looks like. So if you restrict before a vacation, you're actually setting yourself up for long-term weight gain in the end. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I'll just deal with that after the fact. I want to feel good on my vacation, so what's the harm of just restricting before I go on vacation? And I totally understand that. So let's talk about that. Before you commit any action, especially with food, if you're watching my channel, you want to improve your health, your relationship with food, I would guess. Before you take an action, ask yourself, is the action that I'm about to take reinforcing a habit that I'm trying to get rid of? And most likely you are. So if you're about to restrict, ask yourself, do I want to be a person that restricts before every vacation? On the flip side of that, you can ask yourself, is this habit aligned with the person that I want to be? Is this action aligned with the person that I want to be? Do I want to be somebody that restricts before a vacation, that binges and that feels guilty and is on this cycle for the rest of my life? And likely, deep down, the answer is no, but you kind of feel like this is the only thing that I have, this is the only option that I have, this is the only thing that I know to do. What am I supposed to do if not this? Well, you're lucky that you're watching this video, because I'm going to address not only the mistake, but also what you can do instead. So the first big mistake that people make is that they restrict their food intake before the vacation. What are we going to do instead? Let me write it on the whiteboard so that it's official. You are going to eat real and eat regularly. What do I mean by this? Eating real means eating whole, natural plant foods. If you're not eating regularly, you're telling your body that food is scarce. And if your body thinks that food is scarce, it's actually going to increase your hunger drive so that you can make sure that you don't die. And you're going to get hungrier the less that you eat. So you have this catch-22 here where you restrict and it will increase your hunger drive, make you want to binge more, make you want cookies more. So eat real and eat regularly so that your body knows that it's safe. Your body is not going to increase your hunger drive or your cravings. You're going to go into your rest and digest as opposed into the fight or flight state, and it's going to set you up for when you get to the vacation moving forward with a calm, relaxed relationship with food where you're not binging out. So if you want to look nice and fit for your vacation, you actually want to eat. You don't want to starve yourself. That is setting you up for a disastrous, stressful vacation, both emotionally and physically.
Here is an example meal that I would eat leading up to vacation. And this is a meal that I eat all the time. So this is one that you'll see very frequently on my channel. Here I have Brussels sprouts frozen that I've just thrown into my microwave steamer and steamed, as well as cauliflower that I've also thrown into my microwave steamer and steamed. I like them burnt to a crisp, so I will put them in there for a very long time, but you can put them in for as long as you would like to until it is steamed to your desired cook level. And then I've taken 2 Japanese sweet potatoes. With both of these, I poked them with a fork. I put them into the Instant Pot with about an inch of water in the bottom trivet, put them on top of the trivet, and then let them cook on high pressure for 45 minutes. I will top the sweet potatoes with cinnamon. But here is an example of a meal that is whole, real ingredients. Your grandmother could look at this and say, oh, those are potatoes, that's cauliflower, that's Brussels sprouts. And rest in peace, Nana and Mimi, I miss you guys, but you guys would know what this is. You would look at this meal and you wouldn't see anything crazy. This is an example of a meal that I eat all the time and that I would eat regularly leading up to vacation. And you might say, oh my gosh, that's so much food. The potatoes have carbs. If you are looking at the quantity of your food and saying that it's too much, it's too little, or if you're looking at your food and quantifying it by how many carbs are in it or how many calories are in it, then what you're doing is denying your body's ability to regulate how much food you need. And our bodies are very good at regulating how much food we need when our bodies are receiving whole natural food. So if you continue to give your body plates like these, whole natural real food, you're going to become really good at detecting how much you need, rebuilding trust with your hunger fullness cues, which will lead you beautifully into a vacation where you might not be able to get whole natural food all the time. But because you've built so much trust with your body's hunger fullness cues and your body trusts you because it's continuously being fed plates like these, then you're going to be good to go for vacation because your body knows when I get home, I'm going to continue to get those healthy plates made up of vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, starches, and I trust this human who regularly feeds me these things. I know that I can send them hunger fullness cues as needed, and even if I'm on vacation and I'm not getting perfect, quote unquote perfect, whatever perfect is, food, well, I know that I can trust that I'm going to be fed when I get home and I'm going to be nourished and I'm going to continue to send hunger fullness cues to this human.
The second big mistake that people make is over-exercise. Another huge mistake. I'll just put it bluntly why this is a huge mistake. Exercise is not the key to weight loss. If you want to lose weight, don't count on exercise. If you want to lose weight, count on nutrition, count on food. That is the keys to the kingdom. But the reason why I really don't want you to overdo the exercise before you go on your vacation is because too much exercise can put your body from a rest and digest state into a fight or flight state. Too much exercise is going to ignite the primal part of our brain, which most of our brain is primal anyway, that thinks that there is not enough food in the environment, and so we are going to look for food. If you exercise too much, you actually tell your primal brain that there isn't any food here, so I'm going to find food right there. So if you're running like a mad woman, or if you are working out like crazy, spending hours and hours in the gym, your body thinks, okay, where we are right now is not safe. I know that this human is running a lot. I know that this human is doing a lot of physical labor. Things must not be good in the environment, so we need to go look for food somewhere. And when that happens, that wreaks havoc on your hormones, and your hormones are related to your hunger fullness cues. So now you're getting hungrier than normal. You're not feeling as full as normal. Your sex hormones are off. It is the wreck of the Hesperus when it comes comes to hormonal health. Bad hormonal health means that you're going to start seeing weight gain around your midsection. You're going to start getting acne in certain places. You're going to be moody. You're not going to sleep well. What kind of a vacation is that? So over-exercising wreaks havoc on the hormones, and bad hormonal health, that throws everything off. Because what are hormones? Hormones are little messengers throughout our body that tell our body, do this, do that, do this, do that. And if those aren't working, you think you're gonna lose weight, you think you're gonna be fit, you think you're gonna be healthy? No. And for all of my women watching that are in menopause, because I know a lot of women watch this channel that are in menopause, fear not. Just because you're in menopause doesn't mean that your hormones are out of whack. Menopause is a normal, natural part of being a woman. Your hormones are not broken or wrong when you're in menopause. Work with me if you think that your hormones are broken or wrong, because I have plenty of women that I work with in menopause. You're supposed to go through menopause. It's a normal, natural part of life, and we can make it a very graceful part of your life as well. Okay, so don't exercise, bottom line, because it wreaks havoc on your hormones, and it's not gonna help you lose weight. It only accounts for 10 to 20% of the amount of calories that you burn in a day. So we're going to erase that, and once it's erased, it no longer exists. And what we are going to do instead of over-exercising, we are going to spend that time doing something else, which is very important. We're actually going to spend that time food prepping for when you come back from your vacation, because who hasn't done this? You go on vacation, you have some margaritas, you have some chips and salsa, you have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then you get back and you're like, well, I already kind of messed up my diet. I don't have food prepped anyway. You know, what's one more meal? What's two more meals? Oh my gosh, it's been a month since I went on my vacation and I still haven't gotten this back together. So what you're going to use that time to do instead of going to the gym is you're actually going to food prep for when you come home, put it in your freezer, and then when you get home, you won't have to deal with the, oh, well, I don't have food prepped anyway. I see you, little miss or little mister who went on vacation 2 months ago and you are still riding the post-vacation food train. All right, the third huge mistake that people make is they stress. They stress about the vacation because they have to be in a bathing suit. They're going to be wearing shorts, going to be taking photos. It's just too much to handle, and they stress out about it. Why is this so bad? Because when you're stressed, you move your body from rest and digest into fight or flight mode. The fancy word for this is the sympathetic nervous system is fight or flight. The parasympathetic nervous system is rest and digest. If you're looking to lose weight, you want to spend as much time in the parasympathetic nervous system as possible. Because when we're in rest and digest, we do exactly that. When we're in fight or flight, we're not able to properly digest our food. Our metabolism gets thrown off. Our digestion is thrown off. It's a wreck. And if we're not digesting our food properly, if we're not absorbing the nutrients, vitamins, minerals that we need to, then the signal is not sent to our body that it's getting enough nourishment, and then our hunger increases. So if you're stressed out all the time, if you're running from here, there, everywhere, and you're struggling with your weight, it's probably because you're not in tune with your body's hunger fullness cues, because your body is not detecting that it's being fed. It's so wrapped up in everything else that you're doing that food is not even on the brain. That's not a concern right now. And so that part of your brain that's supposed to detect, oh, I've had enough food. No, we don't have time for that. So no wonder you're struggling with your weight and your food intake, because you don't even have time to think about that. You have to move your body into rest and digest to allow your body to be in tune with what you're eating, to notice what you're eating, to taste it, to register that it's been eaten, to allow your body to absorb the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. The least healthy thing that you can eat is stress, because stress is going to prevent your body from working the way that it needs to. Everything gets thrown off when we're stressed. Our cortisol levels get higher. We store fat around the belly. We start to break out. Our sex hormones get all thrown off. So being stressed about your vacation and trying to do all of this crazy stuff, restricting, over-exercising, you're setting yourself up for failure on the vacation. So what are we going to do instead? We're going to schedule PNS, parasympathetic nervous system time. So schedule in time that you are going to deliberately be in your parasympathetic nervous system. Going for a walk, reading, breath work, meditation, yoga, being outside, listening to the sounds of nature, going for a drive on a back road. Spend time in your parasympathetic nervous system to tell your body that it's safe, to move it into rest and digest so that your body can properly communicate your hunger fullness cues with you. So as you can see here, I'm not a huge fan of losing weight fast before the vacation. It is setting you up for a rebound. I urge you to play the long game here. Zoom the lens out as opposed to getting super hyper fixated on losing this weight in the next 3 days. How's that going to play out for you in the long term? Do you want to be somebody whose weight is going up and down before and after vacations, stressing your body out? Is that the person that you want to be? Who might you want to be instead? Do you want to be somebody that has to lose weight fast before vacation? Or do you want to be somebody that is in a healthy, happy, calm body all the time so that no matter if you're on vacation or if you're sitting at your work desk, you are still in the rest and digest, happy and healthy body that you were given to live a full life in. Now I'm going to show you how I did and what I ate on day 2 of my vacation in California. And now we are headed to go house hunting. No, we're headed to Laguna Beach and we're gonna have a great time there today. We're gonna stop at Erewhon before we go because I love Erewhon so much. And we'll catch you there.
When we arrived in Laguna, I went to my favorite place, The Stand. I love The Stand in Laguna Beach. They are whole food plant-based, and most vegan restaurants will just drown everything in oil, but this truly is whole food plant-based. They add minimal oils, and many of the things that they offer are no oil whatsoever, and I was able to snag a no oil whole food plant-based meal. So I got me some tacos and I just ordered a bunch of sides so that I could make my own tacos. Because some of the tacos that they offered, they were going to have a side of chips, and we know that chips are deep fried, and they were offering sauces, and I just wanted to keep it super simple. So I ordered sides. I got a side of corn tortillas. I also got a side of guacamole. Corn tortillas and guacamole are a little bit more calorically dense, so if you are looking to lose weight, you would want to replace corn tortillas with rice or with corn itself, and guacamole is something that you would want to have just a dollop of if you're looking to lose weight because it is more calorically dense, but I'm in weight maintenance. So I had corn tortillas with guacamole. Then their refried beans are awesome. Usually refried beans do have lard and oil added to them, but their refried beans are just beans with some sea salt. So I got the refried beans, and then I got steamed vegetables, which if you can get steamed vegetables somewhere, that is like my favorite place ever because most places will cook their vegetables with oil and butter, but they just had steamed vegetables, nice and clean ingredients, and then their pico de gallo salsa, which is the best. So I had tacos on the beach, which is my love language, tacos on the beach. Enjoyed every last bite of it, and I felt awesome after having this meal.
So we stopped at Erewhon, the mecca for me, and got a few things. One of my favorite things that I had last time, I was so excited to find it, was, remember, if you know, you know, the spicy tofu. I need to learn how to recreate this. No oil added, it's just tofu, soy sauce, jalapeno, fruit juice, and red pepper. I was like, should I get it? There's so many places in Laguna that we can go, but I got it. From the same company, I also got some lotus root. I've never had lotus root before, but it looked interesting. And then I got one more thing. I just couldn't resist. It looked so good. Oh my goodness, rosemary sourdough bread. If you're buying bread, you want to buy fresh bread because bread that you get on the shelves that's not from a bakery is going to have a bunch of gunk added to it. This is just organic wheat flour, the starter, water, salt, and rosemary. That's all it is. Very high quality, baked fresh daily. So if we have a little picnic on the beach tonight, I'll have this, maybe pick up some avocado, a salad, do that sort of thing. Okay, and on that note, I have bread, I have tofu, I had tacos last night. You might be wondering, well, where are the vegetables? What about the 50-50 plate? Listen, the way that I eat, it is manifesting
be the journey that I take my clients through, which is first we start with weight loss mode. Weight loss mode, you have to lock in that 50-50 plate. You have to have vegetables with every single meal. You have to make sure that half of your intake is vegetables, no oil added. You really have to be very structured with it. What I do with my clients when we're in that weight loss phase, that's when we work on rebuilding trust with your body and tuning into your hunger fullness cues. Because if you've been coming from years of dieting, then you're not in tune with your hunger fullness cues, and you wouldn't be able to trust yourself if you're having things like I'm having here, having the bread and the tofu and having these things that aren't 50-50 plates. But because during the weight loss phase, you build trust with your body and you learn your hunger fullness cues and you learn what makes you feel good, what doesn't make you feel good, it grants you the opportunity to, in the future, when you're in weight maintenance, have things like bread or have the tofu or have the tacos that I had last night. They're not a 50-50 plate, but at this point, I'm a pro at my body and I know when I'm hungry, I know when I've had enough, and so I don't have to rely on a 50-50 plate and rely on structure because I intuitively know what makes me feel good and how much is enough for me. I also teach my clients after weight loss mode, we move into my master's program where we learn exactly how to reincorporate bread, exactly how to reincorporate tacos and guacamole and all of that stuff, and how much of it you do very well with. So I've gone through this journey and I'm on chapter 20 of this. So this is why not every single thing that I eat is a 50-50 plate, because I have so much trust with my body because I've done a 50-50 plate for years and years and years. I've been eating this way for 8 years. So at this point, I know exactly what my body does well on, and I can have stuff like this and know how much of it is good for me. I'm not going to eat this entire loaf. Whereas if you're just getting into this lifestyle and you're trying to lose weight, you might eat this entire loaf because you haven't given your body a chance to recalibrate the hunger fullness cues. So I wanted to, the reason why I'm showing you that I'm eating this is because I want to show you that chapter 20 for you is going to look different from chapter 1, and you can learn how to reincorporate these foods in a balanced and holistic manner. So we are headed to Laguna, and I'm so excited. We're going to get there and sit on the beach and read and walk around and shop. Then for dinner, we ended up changing locations and heading up to Newport Beach and just going to a random hotel. And we had a cute little picnic at the hotel, and it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing in the world. But life is a little bit messy, and when your food is nice and predictable and nourishing and steady, then when these things happen, you know, oh, well, I'm being properly fed. I can take anything. We got to switch hotels. We got to go do this. We got to go do that. That's the fun of traveling. Good thing I'm nice and fueled up and nourished on these foods that make me feel amazing. Also, great news that I feel super confident in my body's ability to tell me when I need food, when I've had enough, because I'm always nourishing it properly. So for our little makeshift dinner, we stopped by Whole Foods and I picked up a Dr. McDougall's soup, Dr. McDougall's French lentil soup. Love the Dr. McDougall's products. They don't have any oil added. They're of course vegan, and they have the low sodium ones as well. So I got that soup, and then I got one of the containers from the hot bar, and I brought the soup to the sweet Mackenzie working the front desk. Shout out to Mackenzie working the front desk. And I said, would you be able to heat up this soup for me? Because we didn't have a microwave. So she was able to heat up the soup for me in the little Whole Foods bin that I picked up. And then I had the lotus root and the tofu and a slice of bread that I had picked up from Erewhon earlier that day. And then I put a little bit of avocado on the bread as well. So this was my little makeshift dinner here. That was soup, the lentil soup, the lotus root, the tofu, the bread, and a little avocado. And like I said, under normal circumstances, my supper is going to have a ton of vegetables, usually steamed vegetables when I'm at home. But when you're in weight maintenance, you don't have to have every single meal be a weight loss 50-50 plate. In fact, that's probably not the most sustainable thing for the long term. In fact, I know that it's not, and this is why in my program with my clients, I actually purposefully teach you how to reincorporate meals like the one that I'm having here. So this is why you see me having some bread, having some avocado, not having as many vegetables with this meal, because when you're in weight maintenance, you do want to incorporate some of these richer foods for many reasons that I talk about with my clients after they've lost weight and we move them into weight maintenance. If you want to learn more about that, join my program.
If you made it to this point in the video, leave a comment and let me know either what state you live in or what country you live in. I want some new places to explore. I'd love to travel, so let me know in the comments.